Guys, and welcome back to the Money Game with AC. All right, AMC starts to be a little bit boring, especially yesterday's trading session, today's trading session. And, personally, I will take it. We ended up flat. And some of the people I can already see in my comments on the videos, I can already see some people kind of getting fatigued, kind of getting tired of holding, maybe impatient of, the whole short squeeze not happening at it happened with GameStop. By the way, GameStop doing great. So in this video, I'm going to go over why, there is still a strong chance for AMC stock to short squeeze. Let's get into it, guys. So first of all, I want to go over this article, from our Kegels Capital Management. So if you're not aware, I mentioned that in my previous video. Last Friday, the market experienced some of the stocks being hugely, down, and that was because of a major sale or major sell-off as a consequence of a margin call for a big hedge fund named Kegels Capital. So they were majorly involved into China and some US media stocks, and they borrowed a ton of money, talking about $35 billion, $20 billion, to banks like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, Nomura, in order to, do the business and be and have those positions. Now, it didn't work out the way they wanted to, and they ended up being forced to liquidate everything, and that's how they lost a ton of money. Now, it seems like the US regulator, the SEC, it's monitoring our Kegels Capital Management situation, just because, when this whole Reddit thing started, the big banks and the suits were saying, hey, we need to pay attention to this. The SEC needs to pay attention to this because these retailers, they don't know what they do. They will break the market because they are just, chasing stocks like the YOLO stocks, you only live once, and the meme stocks. So it will be a problem. Now, 2-3 months into this thing, and the market hasn't crashed. But it was the opposite, the opposite. And one of the billionaire, Chayat mentioned it on Twitter, like, hey, the exact same thing you were worried about the retailers and the millennials doing, guess what? The hedge funds are doing it. So the SEC now, today actually released this article saying they will start looking into that. So this is good news, guys. This is good news because the more attention the SEC, this is basically what we're waiting for, for the regulator to get involved, and really look into what these hedge funds are doing behind closed doors, behind the scenes. Because, at the time, you will tell me, yeah, AMC is a company that we're not doing as great in 2020, but pretty much all the companies except, the tech stocks or the stay-at-home stocks were doing great, so nobody was going out, everybody was closed and forced to, quarantine at home, so there was no revenue, which is normal. But prior to the pandemic, AMC was doing just fine. They had some debts like ton of other companies out there, but they made $5 billion in 2019 before the pandemic. So the more the SEC starts looking into this, the better chance we have at hitting this short squeeze, at hitting a home run, just because at a point, if this attention from the SEC ended up being either or, what I'm trying to say is, since what they do is illegal, it's unfair, and some might, justify to be illegal, then the SEC might end up, getting some restrictions, getting some actions, and some of those actions may end up being, hey, you got to get out, or you have to reduce your positions, and it will trigger the short squeeze we've been all waiting for. Okay, so that's great news for us. I'm not saying it's gonna, make the price of AMC stock jump right away, but guys, we are heading towards the right direction. Okay, I want to get into something else that will give you some expectations about AMC being maybe not. Okay, we are all in this for the short squeeze. I get that. But besides the short squeeze, there are some people that really think AMC has potential to recover from this pandemic. I bought my AMC shares March last year, so way before this whole short squeeze thing with Wall Street bets and the shorts and the hedges, because I was really thinking AMC could really benefit from the recovery. People are itching to get out. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the box office weekend where we have these two movies, Nobody Fires or Godzilla vs. Kong, the numbers are getting interesting. Not all the theaters are open yet everywhere, and by everywhere I mean not only in the US, but I mean, guys, some of the numbers are actually looking good. 6.7 million debuts ahead of Godzilla vs. Kong, and already earning over 100 million overseas. So as we get more, Hollywood studios sending all the backlog of movies that were supposed to come out in 2020 into movie theaters, that will drive more and more revenues into AMC. And keep in mind, guys, AMC still have $1 billion in cash in order to survive for the next 12 months, basically for the whole year. And with the whole vaccination ramping up in the US, with the whole temperature getting warmer and warmer, I mean, you hear here and there, in Brazil, in South America, in Europe, that they may not be as the same pace as the US are in terms of, vaccinations. But guys, summer coming, I definitely see a lot more people getting the 2 doses for those who will get the 2 doses, especially here in the US, and that will allow them to go back and do whatever they want to do. So summer comes, I definitely see more revenues for AMC, to those box office movies that will come out. I know Top Gun, it's on the list, the new Fast and Furious on the list, and much more to come. Now, another thing, if you're still doubting that AMC will squeeze or still worrying about, this price getting maybe boring, there is something that came up this morning about insiders selling. So when insiders sell, it simply means people on the executive boards, or directors or people on the top management of the company. Now, they do have specific restrictions in terms of compliance they need to follow whenever they sell shares of the company they work for. So you can track that, and right now I'm under NASDAQ market activity website, where it gives you, the number of insider trades for the last 3 months, for the last 12 months. And we can see here on the month of March, we have on the 23rd, a sale of 100,000 shares from Stephen Colanero. I don't know exactly who he is, but it seems to be on the board of AMC. And then we have another sale for 36,000 shares on the 17th of this month. And prior to that, it's not really, and we also have these shares on the 16th. So if you total these for the month of March, all of these are direct, not really sales. They are instead acquisitions, So it's not something that people should be freaking about, really, because if you total this, it tops what? Maybe 150, maybe 200,000 shares. And AMC has an outstanding shares total of 450 million shares. So it's not something that will definitely, trigger the price to go down. So it's not something that you guys should really be worrying about. And then finally, this is just, the amount of insider ownership, 78% actually. So guys, again, this is something you shouldn't worry. Yeah, they sold some shares, but those shares are not enough to bring the price of AMC down or to give you some fears or worries about what the future of AMC will be. So on top of that, guys, AMC is part of at least 500 shares that are actually on the brink of being short squeezed, just because so many hedge funds are being forced to report, or many people are discovering the tactics of the shorts within those companies, and those hedges and those hedge funds, those big companies with big buckets took advantage of the whole pandemic in order to attack companies in the retail sector, such as Coast and AMC. But even though, see it like this, guys, even if AMC doesn't squeeze when you want it to squeeze, okay, I'm not saying it won't squeeze, but I'm saying if it doesn't squeeze when you want it to squeeze, it's still something that is worth holding for the long term. I definitely see AMC going back to some levels around maybe at $14, $15, maybe $20, maybe not when you want it to happen, but definitely $20. It's very achievable, to my opinion, personally, towards the end of this year. So it's still something that, even though we don't hit that 500, 950, 1,000, 2,000, you'll still be able to make a decent amount of money. Now, if you are someone that is in here just for the short squeeze, maybe you need to reconsider how you position yourself into this stock, because there are other great opportunities out there that will give you, decent amount of returns if you put your money now, because they are recovery plays: the cruise line, the airlines, the leisure, the restaurants, the energy sector, Bitcoins. All of those are sectors that will guarantee you decent amount of return. Now, some people will not agree with that, but that's what I think, and that's how I'm playing my investment game plan, at least for this first quarter or the next quarter. So, guys, to end, it took what, 6 to 7 months for GameStop to really squeezing, and before that, the share price was going up from $5 to $40. I already mentioned that in some of my videos. I can bring it up on the screen, just to say that, guys, it won't happen overnight. I know you feel tired of holding. I know, a GameStop had something much more quick than AMC in terms of short squeeze. But hey, if you look at the chart here, it went from all the way here from $14, even $10 in November, to $40 here, in January, before spiking all the way up to 400 and something. So we don't know, and no one can tell you exactly when AMC was short squeeze, but we do have some facts, some data backing, that there is a strong chance for AMC to squeeze. So that's what I had for you guys. I hope it gives you some comfort into maybe expecting the squeeze to happen. Otherwise, even if it doesn't, when you want it to happen, I mean, you can still play it safe with other stocks. But hey, that's just me. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think and do about AMC, and when you think this thing will squeeze. All right, thank you guys for watching.